everyone. Welcome to our May Provider Resource Fair. This month, we will be highlighting two programs, Second Floor Hotline and Evermore Lifestyle Solutions. So we'll be starting with Jennifer from Evermore Lifestyle Solutions. We do have screen sharing capabilities, which I see that you have the presentation up, and we will have time for a Q&A following each presentation. So Jennifer, take it away.
Thank you so much. So my name is Jen Overfield. I'm the executive director and co-founder of Evermore Lifestyle Solutions, and I'm an individual with autism, so I'm a self-advocate as well. And as an autistic leader and advocate with a background in psychology, conflict management, disability services, and as a service recipient myself in the past, my passion has always been creating spaces where people of all abilities genuinely belong, grow, and thrive. Evermore Lifestyle Solutions is a membership-based enrichment community designed for all adults 18 and up that focuses on connection, purpose, independence, and meaningful experiences through classes, clubs, life coaching, fitness, social events, vocational opportunities, and community engagement. Evermore is built around one core belief. My why for this is that my late golden retriever, Fluffy, helped me want to treat everyone with the golden rule as the golden retrievers would. My own personal and professional experiences have helped me realize there's no one size fits all when it comes to supporting individuals and the services that will best support them. And it's a beautiful thing seeing everyone working together and the staff and individuals having such a great time.
I'm just going to pause you right there. It seems like Kyle just jumped in from second floor. Welcome, Kyle. We have another presentation with Jennifer from Evermore Lifestyle Solutions going right now. So we will pivot to you, Kyle, afterwards.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, Jennifer, take it away again.
All right, thank you. So why we exist is I was tired of when I was working in the field and as myself with having autism, I was tired of the same old group home and day program model. So I created a more flexible neurodiversity affirming lifestyle model built around the life, not the other way around, and really open to all adults. So mental health, LGBT, like the regular public, individuals with autism, a place for flexible support, real life learning, community connection, empowered living, and led by self-advocates and backed by families empowered by heart. So our promise and our mission is Evermore believes every human everywhere across the nation, around the world, with all backgrounds deserve access to experiences, learning, and connections that enhance life. And our mission is simple: to provide access to meaningful, unique group and individual experiences, learning, and community connections available to all walks of life. And so we have recognized the need for creating personalized 24/7 offerings based on individual needs, interests, goals, how they best learn, using a holistic approach and program matching creation. We partner with others along with our highly trained, passionate staff who are the best at what they do, help us to create a person-centered wraparound plan and in a one-stop dream center. So how we help: we take flex funds through CMOs, DED goods and services, Board of Education pay, and private pay. So we do advisory and lifestyle solution services for all ages. So that means like assisting with any IEP advocacy you might need, education and training, transition planning and accessing. We're also do transition services and help families and individuals 14 to 21. And we also help with alternative placement. So we can take payment from the Board of Education. So our Manchester School District does this. Somebody that doesn't really fit their traditional need, they have a membership to Evermore and can still do some things that they need to do with the school. So we have enrichment memberships for group and individual offerings, our weekday, after school, evening respite for ages 18 up. And we have locations in your areas in Brick and Manchester. And then we also have Plainsboro and Marlton. And we do in-home statewide one-on-one tutoring and advocacy support. And I'm a certified life coach. So I will work with individuals one-on-one too, and give them my story of, where I've come from with, I had being a suicide attempt survivor, having autism, navigating the system, being in DVRS, having Medicaid and Social Security, and like how I've come to be where I am today. So this is what we look like in Brick in Manchester, so Ocean County. So we're not a program, we're more of a lifestyle. So Ocean County, we have one which is the Barnum, Manchester, Whiting area on the left. That's that when we first got the building, and on the right is our brick location, which looks like a town square. So we have those two locations. And our membership model is based on usage and access. So the more you want to use it, the more the membership pay is. So we have 7 memberships all the way down from like you just want to try it out for like a social, like someone who just wants to try it out or more do events. Then it goes from essential to core to elevated to signature to all access and unlimited. So the more you use it, the more membership you'd pay. So then our offering. So there's credit system. So you can use the credits in those memberships that you just saw for things such as studio hangouts, which are social interest-based hours, guided studio, which is led by a staff-led structured session. Signatures like expert-led premium experiences. Spotlight studio is one-on-one. Social scene is the events and pop-ups and special nights, and studio lounge is a welcoming space to just be yourself. So you're able to just utilize the space and be like a nice place for you to be. And then you can also reserve it. So studio reserve. So we help you pick your membership based on your interests and what you like, and you can use your membership at any location. So my next slides will be getting into what each of these are. So the studio hangouts, so that's more of a casual, social, and easygoing time. So this will be like a 1 credit thing. So you want to just come and use and play with a group of people that like, I have a retro video game that's Mario Kart 64, but we also have the Switch. We have, we have a lot of games. We have Pac-Man machines and stuff like that at this location. But that also could be like a studio hangout could be more anime, Dungeons and Dragons, cosplay, coffee, pride, faith, real talk hangouts, open art and craft circles, and fantasy league. The other day I was walking into guys watching ESPN and dads talking about it. It was really cool just to kind of see what they tend to do. And then our guided studio is staff-led and hands-on. So like a kitchen confidence. So you'll see that they're doing a kitchen class here, snack lab cooking. That we have real talk conversation scenario studios, like tech made easy. So like Microsoft Word, next steps for like planning for your future, practice and prepare. And then we have like a garden and grow. So they're learning how to grow seeds and community garden here at the Manchester location. And then a signature studio is expert led and premium. So this one's going to be a little bit more because we're bringing in, like, this is a florist that showed us how to do flower arrangements. So that one's going to be a little bit more credits because it's an expert. Or if we have a fitness instructor in there that's a certified fitness instructor doing it, or, culinary skills from like more of a chef base more than just the basic ones, you're going to have this. And then the Spotlight Studio is the one-on-one coaching. So we have the life coaching that I do and a couple of our certified life coaches do. And then we have the personal fitness, so one-on-one fitness, goal setting. We can coach on reading, math, and tutoring and public speaking. Really anything they want to learn will help find somebody for too as well. But we also have tutors and life coaches available for those that want some certain things, and we can help with that. And then the social scene is events that bring people together. So talent nights, open mic and comedy shows, karaoke, dance parties, throwback nights, bingo trivia, game night live, paint and sip, runaway nights, and cultural nights. And then this was a Halloween party. There was at the Brick location. So that would be like a credit for this to attend this event. And then we had a earth cleanup day at the barn here, and we had hot dogs and things like that. So different activities that you can use your credit system for. And then studio lounge. So we'll have times where people just want to hang out and use the space by themselves or just kind of relax. So there's times like we have different rooms and areas. So here's a grand piano. So this person is utilizing the piano during his time and by himself what he wanted to do. Also like a relax and reset zone. We have like some sensory rooms, a social corner, creative corner, and place for your tablets and things like that as well. And then studio reserve. So you can private pay to book our studios. So we have like full disclosure, my wedding was here, so my wedding was at this location, and that's my picture for my wedding. So I actually utilized this space very well. And then this was an event where somebody rented the space and they're doing DJ dance right here. So that's what was another like, kind of area and stuff. And then my dog's in training. So Rose and Bella. So after you saw the original dog, Fluffy, we just got these therapy dogs last year and they're in training. You see them in the right here with the individuals in our whiting location when they were younger. So we're trying to get them to be therapy dogs. So they're in training right now. So they'll make appearances and stuff like that and be there as well. So that's all I have. I know that was a lot of information. All of this is on our website. But I'm always happy to answer any questions. You can give me a call or email anytime as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I had a few questions. So just
Absolutely.
going back to the brick location and that like town square, is there like mock stores and things like
Yeah,
that
yep.
in
We have
there for folks to be able to be in that setting? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, they have a diner, they have a little blue house. It's like a dining room, a rec center, a music center, a theater, all different a nail salon, a hair salon, all different things in there. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Mhm,
awesome.
mhm.
We the connections group that I was referencing before, this might be a good collaboration for that location, but we'll talk about that offline.
Absolutely.
I think
Definitely.
you're
We're
reading my mind, Caitlin. I just text you about that.
Yeah, like this is definitely space for any of the locations like for to be utilized by the public. And we just welcome all of that. So we welcome the collaboration, we welcome the utilization of the space. Absolutely. Like we really want people to feel welcome, like it's a home away from home and that we're getting that feeling. So the biggest thing I can say about Evermore is that we can bring it anywhere. So it's the people that make it and we want everyone to feel welcome, like no matter what. So that's like our welcoming thing. And, we do host the LGBT group, like we're open to mental health as well as the IDD population. So we can really service anyone.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Um, so then just going back to the studio hangouts and the kind of the social events,
Mhm.
how often are those held? And is there a schedule online?
Yeah, so we actually are in the process right now. We have an app. So we are switching apps. So you preload all of your credits in there and the schedule will be there. But if you follow our Facebook right now, our website does have some on there, but our Facebook is where you're going to get most of it, or our Instagram, or our mailing list until we have that ready to launch 6/1. But that's normally how you sign up is with the credit system through there. But we do have the events several times a month and at any of our locations.
Great.
We
And then
have a
just
Mother's Day one this Friday, like a paint and sip BYOB to the barn area. So you actually can bring your own beer. I know it's awful for the substance abuse, but for like the after hours kind of things. And then we do have a Mother's Day brunch at our Plainsboro location that's just food. And we have a Veterans Day event as well as a Friday yard sale at the barn location.
that's great. And then remind us again what ages you serve.
18 and up we do the like the flex funds for. I we do like 14 to 21 for classes, but people keep telling me to do the younger ages for like social groups. I would just need to have some like get some training on how to do that, but I absolutely would love to be able to service like the teenage years for social groups as well. But we haven't started that yet.
Awesome. Well, keep us posted. Um, is there
Absolutely.
is there any other questions for Jennifer? Well, thank you so much for your time. Much
Yes, thank you for having
appreciated.
me.
We will definitely talk offline about maybe
Mhm.
some collaboration opportunities. And like I
Absolutely.
said, feel free to hang on if you want to learn more about second floor if your schedule allows.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks. All right. So like I said, we're going to move on to Kyle, who's presenting from second floor, the youth helpline. I see that you're sharing your screen. Take it away, Kyle.
Yes. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Good morning, everyone. Jennifer, thank you for that wonderful presentation on the work that you do. My name is Kyle Callback. I am an outreach liaison with Second Floor Youth Help Network. Some of you may have heard a bit about us. Some of you, I may be introducing you to this resource for the first time. So I'm excited to be able to get to talk to you all about this and share this with you so that hopefully you can utilize it with the children and the families in which you work with. So let's just get started real quick with the history of Second Floor and how we came to be. So, Second Floor, we were initially founded by former Governor Phil Murphy in 2003. So, we're going on our 23rd year anniversary here, going strong. But we were really founded because Governor Murphy was actually out visiting a friend in the United Kingdom one time. And he had a lunch date scheduled with this friend who ultimately ended up canceling on him last minute, saying, I'm so sorry, but I forgot I double booked myself volunteering for this local organization. And Governor Murphy at the time, as any one of us probably rightly would have been, got a little interested. It was like, well, what's so important that you're canceling on me when I'm in your country and I live across the sea, right? And in asking some questions, he found that this friend was actually volunteering for a local child line where the purpose was to have trained adult counselors who are available to take on any calls from youth in the area with any sort of like concern or issue or problem. And Governor Murphy really liked the idea of having this kind of 24-hour, 365-day service where youth could feel comfortable to reach out and ask for help or ask for assistance or ask for support or even just to vent about what is going on. So, Governor Murphy, really liking the idea, wanted to bring that back and replicate it in New Jersey. So, after the fated lunch with his friend, he came back to Jersey, and what he really wanted to do in creating this resource was ensure that youth voice was involved from the jump. So, one of the first things he did was he got together a group of high school teens who ultimately were integral in helping shape what the resource looks like and what we provide. And it was that group of teens that ultimately landed on the name Second Floor. I get asked all the time, like, where does the name Second Floor come from? Like, what does that mean? Like, it's got to have some sort of like hidden meaning or like it's a very specific name, or some people think it refers to like a physical second floor that we work on, right? And really, what it came down to was that these high school students felt like the name Second Floor kind of evoked a number of different feelings in people, depending on kind of like where they were at. So some individuals hear the name Second Floor and they kind of think of that like second resource, that second elevation, that second opinion, right? Some people hear Second Floor when in terms of mental health, they think it just takes a second to reach out for support. It just takes a second to make a human connection. Sometimes I just need a second opinion, a second person to bounce what I'm talking or what I'm going through off of, right? I had a youth tell me one time, I like to ask the youth, what does second floor mean to you? What do you think we named the resource second floor for? And I had a youth tell me one time that the second floor to him meant home. And I was like, tell me more about that. Why is that? And he goes, well, I live on a duplex and I live on the second floor, right? So the first floor is not my home, but the second floor is my home. So um, we get asked that all the time. And the reason I start this conversation with that is because a lot of people find the name interesting. And I like to say, you take that for whatever meaning that is for you. Because whatever that is, it really can kind of emphasize that human connection or emphasize what it is you may need in that moment, right? It's kind of like a mirror almost. But ultimately, we were founded in 2003, where we started with a call line that youth could call 24/7 to talk to one of our trained crisis counselors about any sort of topic, issue, or situation that they're going through and receive that caring support, someone to listen to, someone to offer resources and information, someone to answer those awkward questions that might be a little too embarrassing to ask somebody who may know us, right? Um, After, a couple of years of serving in Monmouth County, Second Floor was ultimately expanded to the entire state of New Jersey. So we currently serve youth between the ages of 10 to 24 all throughout the state, anytime, anywhere with this free 24/7, 365-day service. And again, we're available to youth to talk about anything. It can be those school-related problems, work, relationship questions, those kind of like healthy date, like what's healthy or normal in my relationship, what's not as they navigate those new relationships. We're there to talk about family, any sort of drama that might be going on. A lot of times, and more increasingly so in recent times, there's a lot of worldly concerns and current events that are putting stress and anxiety on our youth. So our counselors are there 24/7 through call or text to chat it out with those youth, provide connections to additional local support systems if it's needed. They can role play difficult conversations with trusted adults to make it easier for that youth to reach out for help to those individuals. We can aid in suicide prevention, crisis intervention, provide self-harm alternatives. It's really a great one-stop like shop, that first stop shop for support, help, and connection when it is needed. And again, we're available via call, text. We can be chatted through our website. And we have a new app that just released in the last year and a half or so that features community message boards that youth can reach out to anonymously, anonymously, confidentiality, and vetted by our counselors as well. So it's a real safe way to seek community, find support, and get additional help. Again, we are completely anonymous and confidential. So when youth call, text, or reach out, we're not asking identifying information per se. We're just asking what's wrong, why they called, and how they can help. Now, when I do say this, I do throw in a little caveat in that, as you guys are probably aware, all adults in New Jersey are mandated reporters. So we will break confidentiality under really two circumstances, and that's if there's a serious concern of harm to self or harm to others. We do have protocols and procedures to activate emergency medical services to get those callers and those youth the help and the support that they do need. So we do take that very seriously, and I know that's a question I typically get asked when I talk about the anonymity of the resource. So I do just want to let you know that we do have those policies and procedures in place to ensure the safety of our callers as much as possible. So, really quickly, some things that we don't do, just because sometimes there can be a little confusion, or sometimes individuals think we have a little bit more of a role to play than we might necessarily be able to. So, for example, we don't give direct medical and legal advice. So, all of our crisis counselors are trained crisis counselors. However, they are not medical doctors and they are not lawyers. So we can connect to community support systems that can engage those services. However, our counselors who are responding to the calls will not give that direct medical or legal advice. Primarily due to the anonymous nature of our resource, we don't provide regular counseling or scheduled appointments. We are more of that like band-aid emergency resource to be utilized when the youth need us in the moment. So we prefer to be available for those callers. And due to the anonymity of the resource, we like to maintain that confidentiality. So it's hard to really schedule appointments and regular counseling. So with that said, another question I get asked about a bit is, especially for youth who like to talk to one individual or one person repeatedly. Unfortunately, we don't necessarily have a way for that repeated contact to happen. It may happen naturally if they call multiple times and happen to get the same individual, but for the most part, we cannot ensure that. And with that said, our counselors aren't going to give out private personal information as well. So it maintains that on both sides. And we don't make direct referrals to licensed clinicians. So we're not going to specifically tell somebody who they should go see and who they should go talk to. We do make referrals to community support systems that might employ and engage those licensed clinicians, but we're not going to make those direct referrals to any named individuals. So really quickly, I just want to show you kind of like the 5 hot topics, the 5 most like prevalent topics that youth reach out to us for. And I'm sure these don't really shock you at all. That number one being mental health, that depression, anxiety, anger, sadness are very, very common things that the youth are reaching out to us for. We get a decent number of calls regarding healthy dating, healthy relationships, what's normal in a first relationship, what's not, as they navigate those kind of new relationships to them, kind of dealing with the emotions that come with them, those kinds of things. We get a lot of calls about family and how to navigate those family relationships, peer relationships, obviously fights with friends, when individuals need to call out. And then a lot of times those friends are the ones that they're venting to, and when they need to vent about the friends, sometimes there's no avenue to let that out. So the youth can call us and talk to our counselors about that. They can post to the community message boards about that, and see what other youth kind of say about the situation. And again, issues and stress about school is big as well. But I do like to highlight that this isn't an exhaustive list. This is just really what is prominent in the youth's lives. They can call us about anything and everything, and they do. They really do for those big situations and those small. A little bit more about our staff. So all of our responders are trained support counselors. When they get hired with Second Floor, they undergo an additional 40 hours of training and attend quarterly trainings on specialized topics, keeping up with new trends, new research, just to make sure we're on the front end of best practices, and all of the information to make sure that we are helping our youth in as safe a manner and as good of a manner as we can. And then we also have an outreach team, which I myself am a part of. We have a coordinator in North, Central, and South Jersey, who are able to go out and attend community events, resource fairs in the schools, any sort of student or family-facing events. We can come out, host a table, provide giveaways, have little fun activities, engage the youth, teach them about Second Floor, get them connected to the resource so that they have it available to them. Something a bit newer to our team as well, since we were just able to really hire out that team within the last year and a half or so. We have started to be able to develop and provide presentations and workshops for youth and families on a wide variety of topics. One of the ones that I'm excited about and I developed is on the 8 dimensions of wellness and how to live a life of full, robust wellness, utilizing those 8 dimensions that impact all of us. So if you're interested to hear more about that, definitely connect with me. After this presentation, I can share more info. We do have ways to volunteer with us. Youth can volunteer with us directly through our app and through our community message boards. We also have opportunities for both youth and adults who are interested in helping us out at those community events and providing information in person and getting connected to the community. So more on those opportunities can be seen on our website as well. On our website, there is a form that you can submit if you are interested in volunteering with us. And again, I mentioned this, we do a lot of education, outreach, prevention, and partnerships. So if you are, if Ocean Partnership for Children's interested, or you are work for a school or are part of a local agency or a nonprofit that maybe could use our resource or is interested in having me out to present on the resource or on any of our topics, definitely just reach out, let us know, and we can set something up. I do just like to show the app just because it is a brand new resource. It's available through the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. You can search Second Floor Youth Support, and anyone can download this free app. It's primarily for the youth to get engaged and connected with us. There's micro learning modules on a wide variety of topics that interest them. It provides information, definitions, resources, and ultimately can connect them to a community message board on any of those topics that they can then post to, browse the posts, comment on them, all anonymous, confidential, and still vetted by our counselors. This is our number, so that they can call or text us directly at 1-888-222-2228. We can be chatted online from any computer access device. So if there's a concern for parents finding out that they have the app or phone being taken away or something like that, we can be accessed on even a library computer. They can go to secondfloor.org and chat one of our counselors directly. And they can call us, text us, or communicate through the community message boards directly through our app as well. So this is our information. This is our outreach team. My information's on the bottom. My name is Kyle. I'm from the South. I cover South Jersey. However, I live in Monmouth County. So, Ocean County is kind of right in the middle there for me. But Virginia, who is actually your Central Jersey outreach coordinator, was unavailable to attend today. But please feel free to take down both of our emails information if you need physical brochures, resources, bookmarks, anything like that, reach out, let us know. Or if you have any questions, we're always available. But thank you. If there's any questions, I'm here. If not, I genuinely appreciate your time and attention.
Thank you so much. This was so informative, and I loved hearing the history of it. That was so interesting. So thank you so much for sharing. Just a little bit about us. So we do a family crisis plan. Once the youth is enrolled with us and we update it along, it's just a plan for the family to reference back in a crisis. So this is an amazing resource to add to our family crisis plan for youth. To be able to utilize second floor if they are having a crisis or if they just have a question. And I love the message boards that you were discussing too, that aspect of it. That's really cool and interesting and a nice way to connect.
Yeah, I
I
think
just,
I'd like to highlight that because it's a very new way for youth to reach out, and it feels a little more familiar to them. It feels a little more like a social media. It can
yeah.
remove that anxiety. Like, listen, youth these days have like anxiety about talking on the phone
Mhm.
sometimes. So just to have that place where they can go, and they can even browse. They might have an issue and be browsing the boards and see other youth going through the same thing, and it kind of alleviates that, like, oh, well, it's not just me. Other youth are doing it, and this is what they're doing to get through it. So it's
Mhm.
really beneficial to them, I believe.
Yes, definitely. So we serve a multitude of youth in Ocean County. A percentage of our youth are Spanish speaking. So
Mhm.
is there a different language component within the app, or if you call, what does that look like?
So, full transparency, we are actually currently working on beefing out our Spanish speaking capabilities. Right now, our callers, we do have a few bilingual counselors. I can't speak to how often they're on. However, our counselors are currently utilizing as many translation resources as they can to assist those bilingual speakers or those Spanish-speaking population. Full transparency, it might be a little clunky right now, and I do apologize for that. It is something that we are currently working on, based on funding. But right now, our counselors will primarily utilize the tools at their disposal, whether that be translation services or Google Translate that help those individuals.
Yeah, that's great to know, even when we're passing along the resource to those families. So, any other questions for Kyle and second floor? Yeah, great.
Good morning. I do have a question. Is there an age limit?
So the ages we give out are 10 to 24.
24.
So it
Okay.
covers primarily all of adolescence, and we do make sure it goes up to 24 because we want to cover those college age youth as well. What I do say though is it's anonymous and confidential. So like when they call, we're not asking them their age. If we do find out that they're not in that 10 to 24 age range at some point in the call, we're not going to hang up on them. We're not going to, stop the call. Primarily, we say that because the resources that our counselors will connect to in the community will primarily serve that 10 to 24 range. So just know, like, if a 25-year-old calls or a 8-year-old calls, they can still talk to one of our counselors, but those resources that are referred to or connected to might not be the most beneficial. The same goes for geography. So it's not really an issue in your area, but I'm down south a lot, like in Camden and things like that. So I get asked, like, well, what if somebody from Pennsylvania calls, or what if somebody from New York calls? Same thing. Like, we're not going to cut them off. We're not going to stop talking to them. But our counselors are trained to connect to New Jersey-based resources. So those are that's the caveat I put on that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Any
that's
other
great to
questions?
know. Well, thank you so much, Kyle, for your time. Much appreciated. I'm really looking forward to passing along these resources to our care managers. If you have any flyers or anything like that you want me to include, definitely feel free to send them over to me today in email, and I'll include them with the recording to our staff.
Will do, will do. And if you guys
Thank
want physical versions to like hand out too, just email me back, Caitlin, tell me how much you want, and I can get, something out into the mail to you.
Sounds good. Awesome.
I want the
Thank you guys.
physical.
Yes.
I'm sure you do. We have bookmarks that have the QR code that scans directly to download the app. So just send me like a best shipping address and how many you would want, and I'll get those into the mail to you guys.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.